Hi guys, I had some technical difficulties with the previous live, so I had to make a brand new one. Let me share this on YouTube because I shared the old link, but I don't know what happened with that. So we are going to start over, scratch it, and I'm just trying to make sure I share the right link. How's everyone doing today? Boom. All right. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Um, for some reason, it was showing as if I was presenting, and I I don't know, the way it was showing was not how it normally shows. So I'm gonna try and see if I can't. Let's see, get this one. Let's delete. Hi, Greg. How are you? Apologies for the technical difficulties. I am working to sort it out really quick. IT on the fly. And there's like a running joke that I'm not very tech savvy. So this is fun for me right now, trying to figure this out. I'm learning. I learn something new every day and I Google a lot. Let's just say that. Google is like my best friend. Um, But I don't know why the do do do. I have no idea why the first one did what it did. That's so odd to me. But we're gonna roll with it. I'm trying to find my post so that I can take the old um yeah, okay, see, I see. The old one down so that we don't have people in there and they're like confused about that because I shared the previous link and I want to share the new link. You know what? I'll just delete it. Boom. Greg said it showed as a small window. Uncle, help. No, seriously. Yeah, I noticed that too. Whenever I like so normally whenever I get on the live, it's very specific. I press add like my screen and then I go live and then I click it again and it works and it's usually like not that hard. Like it's pretty user friendly at least for me. And so I was like, "Why isn't this working?" So crisis averted. I literally just had to make a whole new live and so the previous one is no longer live. But I hopefully sorted this out and hopefully you can see me normal now. So I hope everyone's having a good Sunday though. Today I am drinking some water. I had a coffee earlier and normally I only drink like one coffee a day if I drink coffee. Hi Charlene, how are you? Um Yeah, we're live today. Guys, I want to talk about my trip to Come On Mountain. It was so much fun, and I had such a ball hanging out with my uncle. I got to meet his girlfriend, Danielle, and I got to meet the family, and it was epic. It was so cool. Thank you, Josh. Um, I have yeah, if you guys can see, we're in a different room today, a new location. Um, Greg says it's overcast and 60 degrees. Oh my goodness. It is it's a little cloudy today, but still blue skies, and I think the high is supposed to be 94, so it's gonna be a hot one here in Texas, which normally, Greg, it's always pretty hot here. My boy Rex is not in the live today. He has been so sleepy. So he is actually resting in his own bed. He has so many beds to choose from. Spoiled boy. Thanks, Josh. 4.99. I don't even know how you do that. So that's really cool. I was playing with some of my settings the other day, so I don't know what I added and what I've done to it. Again, learning tech as we go. Aw, thanks, Charlene. Yeah, it was epic. Mistreated Rex. He is probably the most spoiled dog I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I grew up with lots of dogs. We had a ton of dogs growing up and all like different kind of dogs. So we had like indoor dogs and outside dogs. Majority of them were outside dogs though. My mom had we had three inside dogs at different times, but like they were small dogs. So all of our big dogs were typically outside dogs and I don't think Rex wouldn't know what to think if he was an outside dog. Let's just say that. He was he was something on the mountain. Let's yeah. He did really good, like, when we got there, him and Eclipse really match each other's energy, and I think they were so cute together. They're definitely, besties, I'd say. Domino was a little more standoffish to Rex, like, which I think Rex is just a lot, so that makes sense. They were still super nice to each other and they got along, but Domino kept giving him like a little growl and it was so funny. Um, it's always funny to me when like little dogs put big dogs in their place. Charlene said, "We are all really happy for Uncle David and Danielle." Yes, I am too. I'm so happy for him, and they are such a good pair, and she's the sweetest. So I'm glad he has some help on the mountain too. And she fits in really well. So I'm excited. Hopefully they'll come visit me and Josh in Austin. Domino jealous, but I think so because Rex is obsessed with my uncle, and so yeah, he gets really excited around Uncle David. The first time Uncle David came to visit us in Austin, Rex tried to go home with him. So if that tells you anything, he really likes him. Ooh, coldest July in 50 years here in the Bay Area. Yeah, that seems like 60 degrees seems like almost fall temperature. That's pretty cold. Um, are you someone that wears a hoodie or like a long sleeve in 60-degree weathers, or are you like a short sleeve kind of person? Because I know our family in Ohio, when it's 60 degrees, they think I'm silly for wearing a coat or a jacket because I'm from Florida, so it doesn't get cold there, and I've never gotten used to the cold. Even when we lived in Denver, I feel like I never got used to it. It would be like 70 degrees and I'm like, "I need like a little sweater." I'm always cold. I'm a cold person usually. I'm like my temperature is warm, but then I'm cold. Yes, Rex had a good time. He was a little like anxious around on Saturday whenever we had the cookout for Uncle David's birthday. He was a little anxious around the amount of people that were there. So I usually like he usually doesn't isn't around that many people, and so it was just like a little overwhelming for him. But he did okay. He was just a little overwhelmed with the amount of people. He did like playing with the animals though. He had never met pigs before. He's met like chickens, goats, and cows because my dad has those on his property. And Rex is something else. He likes to bark. He has a lot of bark to him. Shorts and a tee year round. Nice. Yeah, that's I feel like that's how my brother-in-law is. He will just be wearing shorts and a tee when it's snowing outside. And then my sister-in-law, she'll wear sandals. And I'm like, you guys, how are you warm right now? But I feel some people are used to the cold. I'm just I don't do good in the cold. I will say that. That's why I like Texas because it's nice and warm here. Whenever we were traveling to the mountain, I will say we were not expecting it to be as long of a trip, like drive wise. It was at first we thought it was going to be 6.5 hours, which I'm not sure what we put as the actual like destination to get that. We might have not put the right town, so it makes sense. That's why it said 6.5. And then whenever we put Uncle David's address in, it was a 9.5 hours. So it was quite a drive for literally just a weekend. Hopefully next time when we go to visit, we'll stay like longer because obviously like all that driving, it would be nice to like get more out of the trip. It felt like we were driving more than we were even able to stay on the mountain. Um, did you take I-35 on the way? I believe we did take I-35. We were on the highway for like majority of it, and then when like I would say like maybe like 2 or 3 hours out, we ended up like getting on back roads and it was really nice and it was so beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful drives. I love like looking out and there's like fields of cows and horses and stuff like that. It was really, really pretty. And not a lot of people on the road whenever we got to that point. When we drove through, we ended up going through Dallas, and oh my gosh, Dallas just has crazy traffic. I like Austin is such a small city compared to Dallas, even though it's still a bigger city. But Dallas traffic is just like another beast, I think. I don't think Austin traffic is too bad just compared to where we've lived in the past. And especially like Dallas, even whenever we weren't on the highway, there was like traffic. So it was a little crazy. I drove maybe 2 hours on the way there and then on the way back, which on the way back, it wasn't as long of a drive. I think it was like 8 hours. Maybe that sounds right. 8 hours. So it was just we just left at rush hour time. Um, and then on the way back, I drove a little bit longer. I drove through Dallas. That was scary, but we made it. I've never like gotten used to driving in a big city. Probably the craziest place I've ever drove through is Atlanta. They have so many different lanes on the highway, like 8 lanes, something crazy like that. And I think Atlanta was the most humbling place to drive through because it's just so scary. Like if you need to get over, you have to cross like 7 lanes. Like that's just if you're using a GPS, it's scary. Dallas traffic is horrible, just like the Bay Area. Oh, I don't is the Bay Area have pretty bad traffic? Um, I feel like a lot of cities just have bad traffic nowadays. It's getting to that point. I know, like, when I go back home to Florida, we don't necessarily, like, live near the city, and there's still, like, lots of traffic. Like, my family lives probably an hour and a half from the city and they still get pretty bad traffic and it's starting to develop a lot out there. So that's one thing they have to deal with, which a lot of places do. I know out here we're not like in the city, and but we're still like pretty close to us to the city and traffic can be a little bit much. There's definitely certain traffic patterns. Like when I leave for work, I'm really lucky. Traffic going to work isn't bad, but then coming home is like can be a little brutal. Um, but yeah, what is everyone up to today? I know on my list, I need to go to the store. I'm gonna go to HEB, and then I actually have my meal prep right here of what I'm cooking. Um, and I will be filming when I'm cooking, so you guys are gonna get to see the meal prep and some of these meals I've made in the past. A lot of times, if I'm gonna film like a cooking video, I almost want to try the recipe first and then film it later on, just because sometimes I don't even follow a recipe necessarily, so I want to like try, make sure it comes out good, and then I'll share it. Oh, Deborah, thank you. You're so sweet. I hope you're having a good Sunday. Um, but yeah, so on the list, I I'm obsessed with these chocolate chip cookies that I recently found. My friend shared the recipe with me, and I love it. I actually shared this recipe in one of my previous videos, but it's so good. And I made Uncle David a ton of cookies. I think I made him like 35 cookies, something like that. I made him M&M and chocolate chip. And I think he ate them all like within that weekend. So that means they were good. So I'm definitely gonna make some of those this week because who doesn't love a sweet treat? And I I'm not a huge fan of M&M cookies. I know those are my dad's favorite, and I know Uncle David likes any cookies, so I knew that he would like those. But the chocolate chip to me are like the best. So we'll be making some chocolate chip cookies. I know I already shared that recipe, so I might not add it into the this video, but we'll see. And then for breakfast, I'm gonna be doing egg, sausage, avocado, and then I want to buy these like microgreens to go with it because I love microgreens. And then for lunch, I'm gonna be doing chicken kale Caesar salads, and I'm gonna do like chickpea, pasta, kale, Caesar dressing, and chicken. I've made this recipe before and it's so good. And it's one of those recipes like the more it sits in the fridge, the better it is. Like I'd say like day 3 is like the best because it like soaks up the dressing. And Caesar dressing is my favorite. I have the ingredients to make homemade Caesar dressing, and then I also have like the from the store Caesar dressing. But for this recipe, I think making the homemade Caesar dressing, it just like elevates that flavor. So we're gonna be doing the homemade version of that. You could also definitely do like regular store bought dressing. Um, and then for dinners, we're gonna be doing steak, potatoes, and then broccoli. And then one day I made this pork belly in the oven and it was so good and crispy. So we'll do pork belly and then feta carrots, roasted carrots, and then potentially potatoes with that as well. I got a bag from Costco, so we have a lot of potatoes to go through. I was also thinking I could make potato salad. I love potato salad. Um, and yeah, that's everything we're cooking. So, and then for snacks, I'm gonna do hummus and cucumbers, and then hummus and carrots, and then popcorn. So that's everything essentially what I'm buying at the store for that. Thank you. I got these from iBuyDirect, and I'm actually going to go back to wearing contacts some days and then glasses. I was wearing contacts for quite some time, but the only thing with contacts is I hate like the maintenance of them, and glasses are so easy. But whenever it's really hot outside, like let's say I'm gardening or something, wearing glasses is not very ideal. So we're gonna bring back the contacts, but not always, just a little bit. Did you like Danielle's potato salad? I sure did. All of her food was so good. She can cook. And I know Uncle David, he loves to cook. And so it's perfect. And he like grill master. Like he grills so good. So if she does the sides, he does the grilling. I mean, that's like perfect pair right there. That's how Josh and I do it normally. Like if we want to grill anything, he'll grill it and then I make the sides because teamwork makes the dream work. And it makes it go a lot faster when you do it that way too. Yeah, Uncle David did pork butts and he did barbecue sauce with them, and then we had like pulled like sandwiches. It was so good. And then Danielle made potato salad, macaroni, which was really good as well. And then there was like so many desserts. There were so many desserts that I don't even. I think I had Roxanne made a coconut cake and I had that. That was the only dessert I had, but there was a lot of options to choose from. And then I drank so much water. It was very hot on the mountain, which it's hot everywhere right now. Um, and so I was standing in front of the fan a lot of times. Um, and so it was a hot one. I feel like whenever you're outside, it's almost like in that kind of heat, you almost have to have like an electrolyte drink because I think I drank like 12 water bottles, which I still was thirsty. So I needed like some electrolytes in that. Do you make your own hummus? It's pretty easy. I have made my own hummus before. I was thinking of doing store bought this time, but maybe I should do homemade because it's really I've made it before. My only thing is I feel like the texture I struggle with. So if you have any tips on how you make like the right texture, like last time I think it was like a little dry when I made it. And I did like tahini, olive oil, chickpeas, salt, pepper, red pepper flakes. I think that's everything I added in it. So maybe I needed to just add a little more olive oil. I'm not sure because it was the texture was off when I made it, but the taste was so good. This grandma from Las Vegas is so happy for your uncle. I've been watching him since Florida Homestead. His new sweetie is awesome. Oh, that is so amazing. Wow, throwing it back to the Florida Homestead. Yeah, I'm so happy for Uncle David and Danielle. I think they're obviously both so awesome, and it's awesome they found each other. So everything happens for a reason for sure. And I'm excited. I need to catch up on his videos actually. The last one I watched was him and Tim doing the solar is what it was. So I'm a little behind on the videos. Hi, Mike. How are you? Oh, meeting the family was so awesome. Like, I love them so much. I think Mel and Gary and Josh and we talked for so long, and they're just, they're the best. It was so cool. Like, it makes me happy that my uncle has such a good group of people around him because obviously we both are like states away from like our family back home in Florida. So having a good community around you makes all the difference. And I just love the way they all like come together whenever one another needs something or just like to be there for each other. And it's really awesome to see. Um, it was so funny because Mike was on his goal, which I loved this. His whole goal was for Uncle David not to work, to be still, which you guys know this, but even like my entire life, I'm Uncle David and being still like don't go in the same sentence together ever. Like he's never been still ever his whole life. Um, and I think Mike did a good job at making sure Uncle David stayed still. I will say I was one of the snitches that had to tell on Uncle David whenever he was getting up, and I felt bad telling on my uncle, but we had to make sure that he was calm and enjoyed his day and didn't work too hard. So it was so funny. It was like anytime he stood up, Mike was like, "What are you doing?" Like he was on it for sure. And at the end of the night, like he worked so hard just like cleaning up everything. Like he it was a great night. I think Uncle David really enjoyed it, and it was awesome to see. Team snitch. I'm glad you guys are on my side because Uncle David was like, "How dare you?" I'm like, "Hey, I was recruited. Y'all saw in my last video. Mike recruited Josh and we had to tell on him if he got up. He had to stay still." Um, it was also so cool. Like, we got to see Mount Magazine, and as much as I don't like the cold, I love the mountains and it's stunning there. Like I want to go back and just have a day where we like go through the hikes and yeah, I definitely want to go back and just like explore Mount Magazine even more. Um Also there's like an area to go like paddleboarding and like kayaking and all that kind of stuff, which I'm pretty sure that's where Uncle David used to take eclipse whenever they would go. And so I want to do that so bad. And we both are water people, so I love that he's still like near a water source because that's super important. I know when I lived in Atlanta, I was not close to the water and I did not like that. And then whenever we were in Denver, we weren't close to the water either. You kind of had to drive pretty far. You could get to water, but it was not readily available. Where like living in Austin, I have Lake Travis, Lake Austin. I have two different areas like what is it called? Deep Eddy Pool and Barton Springs are like right there in the city. So there's like readily available water sources here. So I really like that. Renimus says you can add a bit more chickpeas, liquid, and tahini to help. Oh, texture. I didn't think to add the chickpea liquid, so I'm gonna try that. I think you're inspiring me not to buy the store bought and to try to make it myself again. I do have a food processor too, so it should make it like very easy to make. I think that's I think that's the move. I think I'm gonna make it homemade. Greg said Mel is so shy. I feel like I was actually pretty shy. I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot of people, guys, like a lot. And Uncle David was like, this is a lot of people, but he's like, this isn't even like everyone. And I'm like, that is so crazy. Like they have a huge community out there. And even though it wasn't everyone, I was shy. I was like trying to be out of my shell. I will say I describe myself as an extra or an introverted extrovert. I'm more introverted, but I can be extroverted when I need to. And then my husband Josh is like extroverted. He thrives in front of people and being with people and he gets like energy around people where like I'm a little bit different. Like I love being around people, but I definitely get a little more shy. So it was a lot to like meet everyone. Um And it was so cool. I mean, I warmed up so, like, quick. I think I was shy for a little bit, and then I was like, "Okay, I feel like I'm right at home." Like, it was so awesome, and everyone is so welcoming and nice, and yeah, it was cool. We got to bond over Uncle David, of course, like, we got to celebrate him on his birthday, so it was really cool to be there for that. Deborah said, "I love Austin, Texas. Do they still have the hula hut where you get the Keep Austin Weird merch?" Yes, I believe they do still have hula hut, and I want to get, a Keep Austin Weird, like, shirt because I love those. Charlene, have a good Sunday, Charlene. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next Sunday, hopefully. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah. We are at I'm not gonna do a full hour today, I will say that, guys. We have a lot on the list of things to do today. Um, I have to go to Home Depot. I think I wanna buy some plants, so I've been doing really good, y'all. I haven't been killing my plants. If you know, you know. I've been a little bit of a plant killer in the past, not on purpose, but I've have some cactuses that I got in Wimberley, Texas, and they're thriving. The key is I have a calendar invite that I have every week or every month, and I only water them once a month, so I don't overwater them, and they're doing the best any of my plants have ever done, and I think I overwater typically. So that's what I've found has been my fault is over loving my plants by overwatering them. My, what is it called? My garden is doing very well. I kept it very simple this year, and I think less is more sometimes. And so I've actually been getting a lot of peppers, a lot of bell peppers. And so I'm happy with my garden this year. I definitely want to start thinking about like the fall harvest and like things like that, what to plant. So I'm gonna be definitely checking out some YouTube videos on garden videos because I need all the help I can get. And I want another successful season because it felt so good using my peppers and my jalapenos in my cooking. So it's a good feeling for sure. And I do want to expand my garden and do a little bit more because peppers really thrive here in Austin. I think the heat. And so I just got to think of what goes well with my garden zone. And then, yeah, not overwater and definitely still remember to water too. So I will say, guys, I do have some beans to spill, but I can't spill them yet. I can't spill them yet. I think there's a few Easter eggs in this room, some context clues, but I can't spill the beans yet because I have a few phone calls to make. But I'll be spilling the beans really soon. That video will be coming out this coming week. And yeah, you guys will get the beans spilled. Some exciting news. Um, Greg said, "I tried buying plants this time of year in Texas. Not much to pick from." Yeah, I know. I think I might just go to Home Depot and see what the options are. Like, I don't think they'll have a lot. It's just it gets so hot here during summer. So I think some plants just don't do well in the heat. Um, like my mom, she's in Florida and she has the biggest green thumb ever. Like my mom's gardens thrive. Also her husband, Rick, his garden always is thriving. And their heat is like they have similar heat to Austin, except it's more humid there. But I'm always asking her for tips too because she knows all things garden. Do, do, do. Okay, I think I'm up to date with all the comments. We have 10 people in here. That is really cool. Definitely don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Um, Last Sunday, I didn't end up going live just because we were traveling back from Arkansas, and I'm glad I didn't go live because my cell service was, like, in and out, and I just know it wouldn't have been good quality, and we might have lost each other while on live on the road. But I definitely am trying to be more consistent, and this is my second live. Um, if you guys watched or my first live 2 weeks ago. It had been 10 months since my last live, which is way too long. So we're getting back at it. I'm also trying to be consistent and post every single week, as well as do a live, so 2 videos a week. And then I definitely try to keep up with the shorts, but yeah, we're getting back in the routine. Greg said, "My poor tomatoes are so cold." Oh no, I know. I That is interesting because you're at 60 degrees today. So, and that's the coldest you said it's been during summer, which that is not good. I feel like tomatoes are very resilient though, because tomatoes are another thing that I've actually not killed. My mom brought me a ton of tomato plants when we lived in Charleston, and the people that bought our house, I'm actually friends with and know them, and they said that my garden was still doing good there, so I thought that was really cool. And I had planted tomatoes and peppers, and so I was really happy that they kept up. They love the heat. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. Charleston got pretty, hot too. I thought it had more seasons than I thought it was gonna have, like, during, fall time, it did get a little chillier, where, like, here, it's so hit or miss, like, I don't know, it could be, like, like, maybe cold in the morning, and then it's hot by the afternoon, so and it's gonna be 94 degrees today. I still wanna go for a walk, but I might go for a walk at night, like 7:30, we'll see. Um But guys, I'm probably gonna wrap it up. We're at 31 minutes. I apologize for the technical difficulties earlier. I am gonna look into that so that next time that doesn't happen again. But thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a beautiful Sunday. I'm about to go to the grocery store, get some meal prep done. And Renimus, I am definitely gonna try making some homemade hummus again because I'm gonna use your tip that you gave me. But I hope you all have a beautiful Sunday. Again, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll see y'all in next week's video. And yeah, bye guys.